Hello, I'm Bernard Hickey from interest.co.nz and welcome to 90 at 9, brought to you in association with Bank of New Zealand. This is your morning briefing where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, starting now with news from America on Friday night of no jobs growth in August. Unemployment remains stuck over 9%. US stock markets fell around 2.5% on Friday night. On talk, the US economy has essentially stalled. The onus is now on US Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke and US President Barack Obama to do something about it to try and get the world's largest economy back on track. We'll hear a speech from Barack Obama on Friday, our time, in which he's expected to extend a payroll tax break and talk about some sort of job creation scheme. But most people believe that he doesn't have enough room to move fiscally to do anything substantial to get the economy going again. Then we'll hear from US Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke. There's a meeting on the 20th and the 21st of September where there will be some talk, most people think, about a third round of money printing or something else. It could include shifting out much of the debt that the US Federal Reserve holds. It's not printing more money, but selling short-term bonds and buying long-term bonds with the aim of pushing rates lower at the long term. The problem is, of course, there's just too much debt in the US system, and those lower interest rates are not working to get people borrowing again. Meanwhile, there's more trouble for the US banks. A $196 billion lawsuit was launched by the US government against them over toxic subprime bonds they wrote before the crisis. Meanwhile, the New Zealand dollar was down under 85 cents overnight, 84.5 around this morning. Remember, when there's less appetite for risk, the New Zealand dollar is less attractive. However, the New Zealand dollar is firm, though, against the euro, the pound and the Australian dollar, because there's talk of the European Central Bank cutting rates, problems in Europe. The Reserve Bank of Australia is expected to cut rates in the next year or so, and the Bank of England is expected to start printing more money. Meanwhile, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand here is expected to hike still in December. Although it's interesting, Goldman Sachs now says March is the better time for a hike, and the NZIER is saying June. The big four bank economists still say December. Remember, tonight it's Labor Day. There'll be no trading in the US markets, and we'll see what happens in reaction to the big announcement on banks later in European trade. I'm Bernard Hickey. That was 90 at 9, brought to you in association with Bank of New Zealand.